Tabletop role-playing game 2024. Ask me anything. It's me, the OGGM, coming to you about 9:30 in the morning on this 29th day of December. It is bright and sunny this morning here at Site B. Apparently, I am crying in a corner because somebody embarrassed me so much. Don't think so, but okay. What are we doing? We're doing the Ask Me Anything. We're doing to see if any of my ideas has changed since the last time we did this last year. So I decided to revisit the very first stream I made last year, January, which is actually harder to find than you would think. You would think to look up a stream you made on a specific date through YouTube would be relatively easy. No, it's not. I don't know why, but it isn't. Or I just did it completely wrong. Anyways, let's watch the very first stream I made and see if anything's changed. Ho, yo, ho, a tabletop role-playing game life for me. What's up, my valiant? Well, I don't sing anymore at the beginnings because now I have the intro music. That's changed. Nerds, it is I, the OGGM, still here, still broadcasting live from Site B. It's 9 o'clock in the morning on this, the first day of 2024. It is a blue sky, sunny and clear, warm and bright morning. Hopefully you are all safe and happy and at home and not too hungover and ready for the first day of the first new year of the 50th anniversary of our hobby. So it's time to open up our maps, take out our tee sextents. That sextent joke never gets old, and I should probably stop using it. And chart our course by taking a look at the Monday tabletop role-playing game news and trying to see what the week, month, year is going to be like, which means just got to toss it out there. I've already posted a poll. Wizards of the Coast 50th anniversary Dungeons & Dragons predictions for 2024. How much or how little nonsense will come out of the house of D&D 6 point whatever, or whatever we're calling it. Is it going to be as bad as this year? Is it going to be worse than this year? Would you say 2024 was a better year for Wizards or worse? It started strong. I mean, and then, I set aside a whole entire stream every Wednesday with its own theme song to just explore how ridiculous Wizards had been this year. So I would say 2024 was as bad for Wizards, if not worse, because it's apparent that the walls are falling down. Wizards of the Coast ends 2024 being faced with a major lawsuit and being sued, and at least $1 billion in the hole. So yeah, and as for the 50th anniversary, yeah, they didn't do anything with that at all, did they? Is it going to be better than this year? Can they go a whole year without doing anything? No, they cannot. It's like they go out of their way to try and be stupid. Controversial and just make product? I don't know. It's going to be hard. It would be hard to top the amount of nonsense that they managed to accomplish in 2023. But it's doable. I mean, it's doable if that's their that's their goal. It's like, well, we went this high on the stupid meter. Can we go higher, Jim? And I don't know. We can try, Steve. We can definitely try. I mean, so the door is open for them to try and accomplish more stupid than they did in 2023. So we'll see. Let me know what your predictions for them for 2024 is, if you have any, or if you're just tired of listening to them. Well, if you're tired of listening to them, too bad. You should have given me the 2,000 subs, remember? Okay, blah, blah, blah. What else is going on this year? All right, so if you guys remember, last year I said if I reached 2,000 subs by January 1st, I would spend a whole entire month not talking about Wizards of the Coast and only talk about superhero role-playing games and other games. I didn't reach 2,000 subs by January 1st, so I went back to talking about Wizards of the Coast. So the challenge still stands. The day I hit 2,000 subs, if we can still hit subs by midnight, January 1st, I will dedicate an entire month to not talking about Wizards of the Coast. The challenge still stands, guys. So really, it's in your ball. The court's in your ball, something like that. The ball's in your court. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh no, more controversy regarding AI-generated art. And is that going to be a big story in 2024? Probably. Should it be a big story in 2024? I don't think so. Well, yep, the AI art thing was a big story. I think the biggest thing about the AI art as we end the year is the amount of companies who are actually admitting they used it and are going to use it after they started the year saying they weren't. I don't have a specific list other than Wizards of the Coast, who we know claimed they weren't using it, got caught using it, said, oh, that was one time, we didn't know how that happened, and then it happened a second time, and then finally Chris Cox came out and said, fuck it, we're using AI, deal with it, and then proceeded to use AI as much as they could. And several other companies that made their whole grand statements, we're not going to use AI, we're not going to use NFTs, we're not going to use anything digital. Turned out they all got caught. They were using it, and now they're just like, yeah, we're going to use it. Suck it. So I think that controversy exploded. I think it's going to continue to 2025 continue to be a thing. I don't think it's ever going to completely go away. I don't think there's going to be a point in time within the next, was it 25, 26, or something, within the next 5 years where we're just like grudgingly accept our AI overlords are now making the art. Maybe if the art was decent, if AI could just get hands right, maybe we'd just complain less. I don't know. Green Ronin has somehow gotten the rights to the Valiant universe and is going to be releasing a Valiant universe source book for Mutants and Masterminds based upon the Valiant universe comic book series. Now you might be asking yourself, oh, GGM, I've never heard of the Valiant universe comic book series. What have they made? Well, if you remember a 2020 Vin Diesel movie called Bloodspot about a guy whose body had been replaced with nanites, Bloodspot, that was them. Yeah, they made a whole bunch of comics over the years. They've never really reached the level of recognizable fame of, say, a Marvel or a DC or even, an Image, but they're out there and they've made stuff, and now we have got a tabletop role-playing game. This is the second one, in fact, set in the Valiant universe. Okay. Yeah, what happened to that, Green Ronin? That never amounted to anything. I don't recall it coming up in a conversation in the last 6 months. I hear more about the Ripperverse on a daily basis than I do for whatever happened to Valiant. And the Ripperverse has not been around as long and does not have as recognizable characters, and yet is, comic book news at least once a day. I hear a mention of the Ripperverse, and I haven't heard anything about this Valiant in a while. So I guess that's still out there. Maybe, I don't know. There's the new Dungeons and Dragons cookbook. Yeah, just really nothing. Because it's just starting. I mean, other than the AI art controversies and Wizards of the Coast controversies, basically the year is starting pretty quiet. But it's still early. And Wizards of the Coast still has a chance to. I will now proceed to spend 4 minutes blabbering. Mess things up. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who's stuck with me in 2023, put up with all the shenanigans, and looking forward to an exciting 2024. So what can you expect from me in 2024? Pretty much more of the same. I don't really see any reason to change things up. Well, we've definitely changed the format. We've changed the avatar. We've got the opening and closing music now. I have a better understanding of editing than I did a year ago. I'm more pinpoint on talking about specific topics. I probably give Wizards of the Coast too much attention, but let's face it, they make the most noise. I managed to avoid controversy pretty much this year, other than the Adventurer Conquerors King bullshit at the beginning of the year. my getting kicked out of the OSR for not wanting to back the Adventures Conqueror King Kickstarter, my losing the respect of certain people in the OSR who I used to think were, cool. And as time progressed, I realized they weren't. Gaining the respect of others, reaching out and making new contacts and friends. That's definitely been a thing. So yeah, as for the channel, it still isn't as big as I'd like. It's still not making as much money as I'd like. I still haven't figured out that magic algorithm. And people have given me a lot of advice, and I've followed a lot of tutorials, but it doesn't really work. So either it's just me or I don't know. I don't really see any reason to force post stories like those people who post something every 10 minutes. I don't feel the need to go out of my way to hate post or go after people like some of my fellow YouTubers do. I'll review things. I'll go through my shelf again, like we did last year. But on the other hand, I don't really have the money to review a lot of stuff. I did just download the new stuff for Ben Milton's Knave 2nd edition and Maze Rats, which I kickstarted. So let's do that. And what a disappointment 2nd edition Maze Rats and Knave was. Wow, what a disappointment. So other than maybe me trying to learn ways to make this look more exciting and like have an intro song. Remember the guy who said he was going to make me an intro song? What happened to that guy? I never got my intro song. Grim Jim ended up making me the very first intro song that I had for 2024. Thank you, Grim Jim. It was that rap thing with the head bobbing over the sunset on the California beach. Not really my vibe. A lot of people found it annoying. I liked it. And then I discovered how to make music using Suno, or it's like sumo, but with an N at the end instead of an M. And of the 8 songs I've made using Suno, let's face it, the That's So Wizards is genius. That song is perfect for the topic. Everybody says it's catchy. It does sound like the intro to a TV show. And somehow the AI caught all the emotion of what I was trying to project with the Wednesday That's So Wizards segment. The Saturday shout out video, I just love that song. You can't understand the words. It's so fast, and the AI repeats a lot of words. Saturday Gleam, Electric Stream. I mean, but it's a perfect song. The news song, I need to redo the news song. It didn't quite capture that surf punk OGGM news intro that I wanted it to. And the big stompy mech song, it doesn't work at all. So that's another one I'd probably have to redo. That was like, what, 2 years ago? Yeah. Other than trying to find ways to make this look better, like I know there's a way to make this black thing go away and have like a layover. I've tried it before and it didn't work, but I know other people who have done it, so I'm going to ask them. Maybe have like something at the intro to make it more exciting. I like doing the stream of consciousness because it's fun to listen to me mess up words, right? I am going to try and babble less. I'm going to try and give my... Yeah, well, that's a resolution I did not follow through. I babble. If anything, I babble more. 5-minute talks end up being 20 minutes long because, the neurodivergency brain issues are getting worse as I get old, not better. So in my mind, I script something, but I forget the script and I just sort of blah, 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 blah. And eventually I remember, what I meant to say was, but then it goes from in here to my mouth. It takes longer and longer to get there, which sucks. But it's a thing, and it's something I got to be more conscious of. So maybe I need to write myself a little note and put it on the computer. Don't babble, or script out my sections, have a little outline, say what's in the outline. Don't drag it out. You're dragging it out right now, GGM. Myself like a 20-minute time limit for no matter what I'm talking about, because we know I have a tendency to babble and repeat myself and lose track of my train of thought and just sit there going, look, my cat. Yeah. So we know that the brain is not operating on 100% and can expect that to continue to deteriorate as I get older. So yeah, I'm going to set a 20-minute time limit, I think, for all my projects going forward. And yet I failed to maintain that 20-minute time limit because we all know I have a tendency to ramble. As for mispronouncing words and names, that's not going to change. It's not like I do it intentionally. It just happens. You know, I will continue to spell out the words that I think I messed up, but for stuff like dro and drow and piezo and piazzo or piazzo. Yep, I'm going to change. I'm not going to change that specifically because it pisses people off. And if people call me names like idiot or grumpy McGrump, I'm not going to get angry at them. I'm going to thank them for the free press. And then that hasn't changed. Please continue to call me names and make videos about me, because every time you do, negative or positive, it still gets me views. Incorporate the name they called me into my litany, because that's the best way to anger them, isn't it? Remember the guy who called me West Coast Grognard? Yeah, that's my word now, Scott. Other than that, I don't see any changes. I definitely know there's things I could do. I mean, it'd be very easy for me to hate post, like some people have taken to, you know, and just like go after Scott or Connor or Shoner or L or Condor or these other people. But I don't think, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to, you know, cherry pick things, whatever. I will continue to report on Wizards of the Coast because they continue to be newsworthy. But yeah, I've got a schedule. You guys seem to like the schedule. Obviously, if there's things you'd like to see me do, like more solo play. All right, so there we go. That's the first video I made in 2024. And as we're making one of the last videos of 2024, not much has changed. I think the quality has changed. The quantity of stories remains consistent. I'm getting a little better on the research thing. I'm maybe getting a little better on staying on task. I think I've reached out and made more context than I expected. I mean, I still blabble. I still The brain doesn't always process, unfortunately. There were goals I had that I didn't reach. There were goals I had that I did reach. There's still things I want to do, and there's still things that escape me that some people think is really, really easy. And I don't know if it's because of the dyslexia or the neurodivergency or just my magic ability to make machines not work, that there are consistently things that should work for me that don't, like, you know, my horror stories of trying to post on drive-thru and somehow breaking drive-thru to the point where the data assistant manager dude was like texting me going, "What did you do?" And I'm trying to explain to him, no, that happens to me all the time. It's literally my superpower. I destroy machines. I think the biggest disappointment for all of us was the lack of attention Wizards of the Coast gave to the 50th anniversary, right? At the beginning of the year, I was like, all we want is a shirt. It would be so easy. It's the end of the year. No shirt. No t-shirt. Even I would have bought a Wizards of the Coast 2024 Year of the Dragon 50th anniversary t-shirt if they actually made one. But we didn't get that. We got Dungeons and Dragons beef sticks instead, because somebody somewhere in the Hasbro corporate structure thought, yes, we definitely need to license the Dungeons and Dragons brand to make more money. What could we do to make more money? T-shirts? Nah. Stickers? Nah. Hats? Nah. Backpacks? Nah. Dice? Nope. Beef sticks? Oh yeah, those will sell. Beef sticks. Magic the Gathering Hot Pockets. Yeah, great idea. Those will sell more than a t-shirt. No, they will not. All right, what do you want to see next year? More of the same? Something different? More interviews? Less interviews? More reviews? Less interviews? Should I stand up for myself more and actually go respond to the people who shit talk me? Or should I continue to ignore them for the most part, other than an occasional like, oh, yeah, thank you very much? I mean, yeah, we know there are people out there that are going to continue to shitpost me. Driving Dragons, Condor DM. I think Garby still brings me up. There's probably others I don't know about. So that's not going to change. So whatever, I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be more positive. I'm trying to spread more positivity. There's things I've added this year that I really appreciate. Things I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I wish I had the money and the wherewithal to do more reviews, to go to more places, to interview people, but I don't. So, the goal is still 2,000 subs by January 1st. I don't think we're going to hit it this year. So we'll reset the goal to 2,000 subs by August 4th. I'm going to try doing stuff on Twitch. I've said that. I've already reached out to somebody to help me make a Twitch avatar. I don't know what I'm going to do on Twitch, but definitely going to be setting some days aside, probably Tuesdays and Thursdays, to do something on Twitch, because it's just another way to reach more people. And selfishly, there's people on Twitch I want to interact with. Not mentioning any names, Iron Mouse, but there's people, Hakaru, but there's people on Twitch who I think would be cool to do stuff with. So yeah. Till next time, tomorrow, I'm the OG GM. Hopefully you appreciate this, and we'll be back for our regularly scheduled nonsense tomorrow.